Hey, we are starting soon. Please hang out in the chat room and we will get to bada bing, bada boom. Hey, what's up, everybody? We're going to be getting started here very soon. Just waiting a few more minutes. Please participate in the chat room if you want, and we will get started very soon. Alright, should we get started? Let's get the demon faces going. Let's do it. Okay. And 3, and 2, and 1, and big face. And hello everybody, I got my spooky cam going on. My name is Jan Erickson, and this is my Hyperion channel called Mindful Monad. So, today we are going to look at a recent hot controversy where there is this Texas mother who claims that if you watch Hocus Pocus 2, that just recently came out, Hocus Pocus 2, if you watch it, or if you let your children watch it, it literally unleashes hell. It literally possesses your house. Like, you will experience demonic suffering. So I want to unpack this. And you'll have to bear with me because I recently updated my laptop and everything is like the whole aesthetic has changed. Everything is switched around. So I'm gonna have a hard time like navigating for the moment. But before we dive right in, let's say hello to everybody. So we have Claudia. Good to see you. Renaissance Fairy. Good to see you. Tyler Elise. Ari. And we have Philip. Philip, who is here, is our moderator. Thank you so much for coming in and keeping our chat room safe. I love the spooky cam. I'm looking at it. It's got like weird deep green colors. And it doesn't quite focus, but it's interesting. So it's like, it's kind of my favorite. Thank you so much, Zero, for the super chat. Good to see you, Zero. So yeah, tonight is really weird. I just want to dive into this weird situation where there's this Texas mother who thinks if you watch Hocus Pocus 2, that it's literally inviting demons into your home. This is kind of the mentality that I grew up in. I do remember distinctly, like, bringing up the whole Bloody Mary incident with my father, because I grew up in a very religious household. My dad was very religious. And I asked him about Bloody Mary. You know, if you look in the mirror in the dark in your bathroom, like, and you spin around 3 times and you say, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, suddenly a ghost will appear in your bathroom mirror. And I asked him, I'm like, is that true? And he flipped the fuck out. He flipped the fuck out. He was like, don't you be dabbling in that shit. Don't you be inviting that shit in my home. Don't you be doing that. That is inviting Satan in here. Hi, Susan. Susan is another moderator. Thank you so much for coming. We have Angela. Thank you so much for coming. Good to see you, Angela. And Maria Sealing, Lisa Zawacki, Velveteers, Mistress Angelica, Akiko, good to see you. Oh, and I see Cassie. Good to see you, Cassie. I get to see Cassie in person next weekend. I'm very excited for that. So Cassie says, my Mormon cousin wasn't allowed to watch Matilda because it was magic? Question mark. Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is the new, because there was a lot of controversy when Harry Potter first came out, and there was very stark Christian women who were like, nope, not my children, not gonna read this shit, not at all, not any day, not no how. Yes, I get to see Cassie this weekend. And so that, I'm not sure if there's going to be a Friday night live stream. There might be. I'm going to try to talk Cassie into baking some Halloween treats with me on live. And if not live, at least pre-recorded. So give us some cupcakes. Let's do cupcakes for Cassie. Cupcakes for Cassie. Cupcakes. Cupcakes. Cupcakes for Cassie if you want to see us baking next weekend. Angela says, "You feeling under the weather, Jan?" I always have. I'm like having nasty allergy problems. I just feel so congested, like all the time. So if you're picking up on that, I'm sorry. I don't know. It's weird. It's like at the end of the year, there's a bunch of bushy flower, like flower bushes that just dry up and they turn into like dandelion stuff and it's like this weird white fuzz that like floats through the air and it makes me feel like I have a cold all the time. And then I have to take a whole bunch of allergy medication like Benadryl and it makes me feel so out of it. I hate it. Yeah. So, anyways, I wish this could, this camera wouldn't be so bad if it could focus. Whoa, focus. Focus. There's no external controls. Looks like a crappy, like, CTV camera. Anyways. Oh, shit. Anyways. So, I want to get into the topic. And the topic is unpacking what this lady is so frightened about. I'm so curious. Like, what is it about this lady that's making, headlines? Mom warns Hocus Pocus 2 will unleash hell on your kids. Local news. A mom of 3 in Texas fears that Hocus Pocus 2 can smell, then unleash hell. What does she mean, smell? Can smell, then unleash hell on your children through the television screen. What kind of like... this makes me think of, what's it? The Ring? Anyways. Jamie Gooch, a Troy of, is warning parents to think twice before allowing children to watch Disney Plus's long-awaited sequel classic 1993 Halloween flick, claiming that nothing good can come from exposing youngins. Wow, that's how you spell youngins? Youngins to fictional witches. A worst case scenario is that you unleash hell on your kids and in your home. Gooch told news station KWTX. The whole movie is based on witches and harvesting children for blood sacrifices. This lady sounds like she is screaming QAnon right off the bat. The original Hocus Pocus follows the Sanderson sisters, Sarah and Mary, who were accidentally revived in modern-day Salem, Massachusetts, home of the infamous witch trials, and begin killing children to consume their souls to stay young forever in the sequel. The trio to cast that a spell that would make them all powerful, that would give their revenge in the historical society. I mean, on the one hand, I can appreciate educated women in medicine who get put on trial as witches. But on the other hand, These seem like actual witches, but it's a movie. I mean, I love Hocus Pocus. I love that. It's great. I love Hocus Pocus. I love it. But like, come on, it's a movie. It's a movie. This reminds me when Harry Potter first came out as a book, and there was very dedicated Christian women who were so against it. They're like, "No, evil, wizardry, witchcraft. It's going to expose our children to witchcraft. We can't allow it." So this lady says, "Do not watch this film. Her last name is Gooch. That can't be real." Gooch. That can't be real. Everybody thinks it's fake and innocent, but they could be casting any type of spell that they want to. Anything could be coming through that TV screen into your home. Oh my lord. Why does she look like she's my cousin? I don't know. She looks like I could be related to her. Hey Ari, good to see you. Paul Cherry, good to see you. Joanna, good to see you. Everybody. Maria Seedling, good to see you. Gooch says she is a Christian woman whose family has not celebrated Halloween for 4 or 5 years now. Well, good for her. Her children are miserable. It grieves me, the thought of exposing our kids to darkness, she told local media. I love that wording. I love that wording so much. Exposing our children to darkness. Gooch said she is a Christian woman whose family has not celebrated Halloween for 4 or 5 years now. It grieves me the thought of exposing her kids to darkness, she told local media. But come spooky season, Gooch felt the need to make a Facebook post about the new film to get the other moms thinking about what kind of horrors their children are consuming. My God. I mean, Disney is pretty fucked up, so. I was a little bit scared when I hit post because I was afraid of the reaction that I would get. The post was for people who have been on the fence on the decisions they need to make for their family, Gooch explained. Revealing an overwhelming majority of the response has been positive. Well, lo and behold, most of Americans are weird ass Christians. Of course, they're gonna love that. I was a little bit scared when I hit post. It was wonderful in a sense. It was wonderful in a sense that a lot of people agreed with me that in that they already knew there were some that didn't understand, but it was welcomed. Tell me your opinion. I want to hear where you're coming from, although it doesn't change my convictions or what I choose to do with my family, she added. I was talking about the movie with my friends and family, and it just weighed heavily on my heart because some people are doing things that they're not even aware that they're partaking in these things. What? I love this shit. Oh my god. Growing up as a Mormon, this was the same kind of mentality because it's like, if you watch this movie, you are literally participating in the ritual that's portrayed in the movie. And it's so not the case. I wish. See, you know what? I think there are some children who shouldn't, like, participate in watching a lot of really dark movies and horror movies and things like that. But some kids can. Like, some kids can take it on. And to that, it's like, where's the guidance, the rational guidance where it's like, yes, this is a movie, but it's fake because they did this and this and this to get this effect, and that's why it's fake. I think some kids can understand that sort of shit. Some kids, maybe it's too intense. I don't know. You just gotta like, you gotta kind of like read the room with your kids. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. You need to go and follow your own heart and your own conviction. But for a Christian, we are held at a higher standard, Gooch reasoned. That's not reasoning. To the people who are skeptical of Gooch's views on the cult classics, she said she's airing her thoughts even if the impact isn't huge. I hope I made a difference, but even if it's one person's life, that's all that matters, she says. It doesn't have to be transforming Hollywood. I don't know how to make a huge impact, just a small one. And I'd be happy and satisfied. On her final thoughts on the matter, Gooch said, I think at the end of the day, people want to walk away with discernment. I guess. Just start thinking. Start thinking for yourself, and even overthink the and consider all the options of what you're partaking in. The Post has contracted reps for the movie for comment, which they didn't get. What the fuck?
Case scenario is that you unleash hell on your kids and in your home.
Jamie Gooch is a mother of 3 and the owner of Gooch Family Farms in Troy.
Why is it Gooch? I mean, I don't want to discriminate against people's last names, but Gooch? Gooch? You couldn't change that down the line? I mean, my ancestors did. They went from Jorgensen to Torgensen. Like, you can't fucking change that shit, Gooch. Change it to Cooch with a K.
Love everything to do with house and home. It grieves me, the thought of exposing our kids to darkness.
To darkness. It reminds me of that weird episode of Trading Spouses, I think it was, where that weird Christian lady was like, they're into dark-sided stuff! Dark-sidedness! God Warrior!
She's here. She's here.
No way.
Hey, Bonnie. Where's that Lord? Oh, no. So Dork-sided. Dork-sided! What? Dork-sided. Not of God. It's not Christians. Did you not ask if she believed in God? She's not a Christian.
She could be a
Kristen! There's we actually might be able to watch this whole episode. I don't know if we can do it tonight. But we can so there was this television show on like cable television where it's like trading spouses, and it's like they'll swap wives. They had another show even called Wife Swap, but not like the sexy wife swap, like literal like we're going to switch your roles for the week. And anyway, so this lady was a mother that was like hardcore Christian that swapped places with another mom, and their family was more New Age. Okay, so that's instantly like evil, right? And so this is the part in the series where she came back from participating with that family, that New Age family. And her kids are like, yay, we're happy to see you, Mom. And she's like, you don't understand. These people are dark-sided. They're not Christian. So it's like, this is iconic. I remember watching this when this first came out. Okay. Wait.
I think she's here. She's here.
No way.
Hey, Bonnie.
Where's Tom, my love?
So dork-sided. What? Dork-sided.
That's what this reminds me of. When this lady over here is like talking about darkness.
To darkness. Movie is based on kids to darkness. Movie is the thought of exposing our kids to darkness.
The thought of exposing our kids to darkness. Dark-sidedness!
Not of God. It's not Christians. Did you not ask if she believed in God? She's not a Christian!
She's not a Christian!
Could be a Jew and believe in
It
God.
doesn't matter. She's tampering in dark-sided stuff. Yes, she did. The entire house is dark-sided.
She said her whole house is...
She is dark-sided too. Why are you mad at us? This is my house. I want no money. I want nothing. I want my God and I want my family. This is tainted. I don't want it. Whatever it is, it's tainted. Whatever it is, you give it me. I give it up to God. I'm a God warrior.
I don't want your money. I'm a God warrior.
And I don't want someone with tainted anything in beliefs doing anything with my...
Anybody else have a mom who shrilled screech like that? Because that was, like, I totally had that. Like the weird religious mom who did the shrill screeching. Yeah, fun shit.
Family! Get out! Get out. I want these crew members leaving. Get these ear sets off of me. I've had enough.
Oh, did you see that fucking camera person? She just did like the awkward, like, oh fuck, the dip, like, I'm out, let's go back. That was so funny. Right here, see this lady? Watch for this, it's so funny.
Get out. I want these crew members leaving. Get these ear sets off of me. I've had enough. Gargoyles, psychics, everything's ungodly. Dark side.
That camera person was like,
Get
fuck
the hell
me,
out of
I'm
my
out.
house. In Jesus' name, I pray.
Jesus' name.
I've had enough.
Mama, just sit. Mom, come sit with us.
Did you talk about astrology?
No.
Did you get hypnotized by it?
Did you talk about astrology? Do you know that you're a Taurus?
I have taken a stand. I have taken a stand. I am not a fence rider. I was over there praying for all these people, but I needed prayer. I needed you to be
praying for
I
you.
needed you get
Mom,
me.
I was praying for you every night. I was praying for you every
But
night.
I needed your prayers.
So it's my fault.
You did come to my mind. There was nothing of God. Every day it was nothing of God. I had to change the whole plans and make everybody go to a Catholic church because I was leaving. Took the ear sets off, said I am leaving. Fly me home.
Mama, just talk
We
to
had a
us.
party, a solstice party.
Well, she said that was about the moon. So why
Yeah, it's about the
Solstice party. My God, a solstice party. Yeah, I love the whole thing. Like, did you pray for me? Because without them prayers, I can't do nothing without them prayers. Please pray for me. Prayers are bullshit. Prayer is poison. I actually made a episode on that. I made a video on that. I might go back and visit that subject sometime about how prayer is actually poison. Prayer is a complete symbol of releasing your will to something that doesn't exist. When you are meant to tap into your ability to problem solve. And tapping into your ability to problem solve isn't always beautiful and perfect the first few times you do it. But when you exercise that capability, that's the evolution of humanity. That's what's going to evolve over time and strengthen us. Not this constant, like, delegation to well, I'm just going to rely on this mystical figure to tell me if I'm doing things right or not.
because they only believe in the moon and the gods and the this and the that.
Jeannie was not like that
Her
over
name
here.
is Jade.
And the moons and the gods and the this and the that. This lady is fucking amazing.
I went to her station. Her kids don't go to church or believe in God.
She said-
I've been with her kids.
Well, she did.
Ashley, astrology,
Mom, I believe you.
tarot card readings.
She didn't bring it up with
And if
us.
everybody would look back at everything I've been saying and preaching and praying and saying, I've been saying I am a spiritual warrior because I feel like I'm a spiritual warrior. Like I've had to put armor on just to walk out that house.
Pretty sure these people are from Florida. Sorry, Florida people. Sorry, Florida people. Pretty sure these people are from Florida.
I want none of this. I want out of this. Because you know what? I won't take some ungodly person telling me what to do with my money or that money for us. I don't want it in my house. Tarot cards and astrology and witch books and
We had none of that here.
because you know what?
And voodoo and crystals and candles.
Because I'm the warrior. I asked all the questions.
I am the God Warrior.
Take the money, take whatever you got, and get out of my house. In Jesus' name, I pray. They will be on my prayer list for the day I die. Every one of
You
them.
spoke to her?
I speak that into existence, every one of them. I've planted that seed and I will see the harvest. Get out of my house. Every dark-sided person, get out of my house. If you believe in Jesus, you can stay here.
You believe in Jesus and God, you can stay here in my house. But if you are dark-sided, with the darkness, you get out.
Don't stay in my house if you're dark-sided. I don't want to see a book of witches. I don't want to see anything, any stars. I don't want to see any of this dark-sided psychics, all the things, tarot card reading. I rebuke it in the name of the Lord.
Mom, come sit. There was
I am
nothing like that. Come talk to us on our
I am
end.
a prayer warrior. Do you know what she is? Do you know what they do? Did you ask her, was she a Christian? Did you ask her, did she believe in God? Not God, not stars, not witches, God. been educated while I've been gone. I've been educated on stuff I didn't even want you to hear, but you need to hear. You know why? Because Mama can't protect. They put me on the talk show and had a psych in the air. I took the ear sets off and said, I am flying home. I don't believe in this. Why don't you ask? Why am I the... I'm always the one that asks all these things. I'm the one that's the warrior. Why can't you be the warrior? And then they have this wonderful star thing, okay? There's Buddha, and there's the Buddha flag, and there's the Zawad.
This editing, you don't get this kind of editing on television anymore.
This goes on every day. It was something ungodly. I was thrown in the pit. Thrown in the pit. You couldn't even walk up the front door without the Buddha flags hit. He thinks he's been reincarnated. Nothing of God. I felt dark.
Love it. Darkness.
It grieves me, the thought of exposing our kids to darkness.
Dark-sided
witches harvesting children for blood sacrifices.
In a recent Facebook post,
I was a little bit scared when I hit post because I was afraid of the reaction that I would get.
Gooch advises moms against letting their kids watch Hocus Pocus 2.
I believe whatever comes in our TV screens, there are things attached to that. I've seen for myself the things that I've watched with my eyes or heard over a TV
Who's
screen
doing the editing?
that become manifested in real life.
doing that?
Everybody thinks it's fake and innocent, but they could be casting any type of spell that they want to. Anything could be coming through that TV screen into your home. I think at the end of the day, I want people to walk away with discernment. If you're watching this, just start thinking. Start thinking for yourself and even overthink and consider all the options of what you're partaking in.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
It's so weird that in the end of all of her statements, she condones and even encourages reasoning. Like, think about it. Even overthink about it. And if I'm to do that personally, and I'm sure other people will come to this conclusion as well, it's just a TV show. It's just a movie. Okay, so like, I grew up Mormon, right? So I was not very exposed to rated R movies. And so when it came to horror movies, I was very new to that sort of stuff. So when I watched, for example, The Exorcist for the first time, I was scared shitless. And not because of the actual movie itself, but because of the build-up around it. Like, oh, this is the craziest movie. It's directly about demons, and if you watch it, you know, you're gonna get scared to death. And I did watch it, and it was scary, but my sense of reasoning told me that it was just a movie. It was just entertainment. And I never took it anything more than that. And I have not seen the second Hocus Pocus yet. And now I want to watch it just because we're talking about it now. But I can understand that there's no actual magic or influence of any sort of dark-sided demons when you watch a movie. There's something weird about Christians, like this lady more specifically, that their beliefs bring ordinary things alive more so than they need to be. So it's making a spectacle and something more out of a simple movie, where she's like, it's a spell, it's going to open up the gates of hell, and you're going to unleash that on your children. My God, I would be not happy to be her child. Be like, don't watch this movie, or it's going to unleash a portal of hell, and you will never be the same again. Like, my God, that would be so scary. My father was like that. Like I said previously, there was the weird incident where I brought up the myth and the legend of Bloody Mary. Now, when you stand in your bathroom in the dark and you turn out all the lights and you look in the mirror and you spin around a few times and you say, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, like 3 times, then she'll actually appear in the mirror before you. And I brought it up with him and he was just like, no, that's so real. That's real. Don't fuck with that. That is the devil. And I could not sleep for weeks. I could not sleep. I had to take a sheet and cover the mirror in my bedroom because I'm like, oh my God, it's real. I can't even look at a mirror in that time. Like, I couldn't even look at a mirror because I'm like, a ghost is going to come through it and strangle me to death. I did not get that idea or come to that conclusion myself. I was taught that. Christian moms versus Hocus Pocus 2. What?
First, it was The Little Mermaid. Actually, no, it wasn't even first The Little Mermaid. It was anything. There's a new movie out, and Republicans are mad about it. Let's just keep it real. It's pretty unexpected. But the latest is Hocus Pocus 2.
Hocus Pocus 2. What did they think of the first one? We never heard about that.
Christian mom is freaking out over Disney's latest run of this. Remember the old classic? It was from back in 1993. It took them a long time to make a second. But both films, if you guys don't know this, because I kind of didn't, I never watched the first one. It's about a plucky group of children who must stop the Sanderson sisters, which is an evil coven of witches, from using children's souls. This is the whole premise that's got people so upset. Their souls and or blood to complete evil rituals. They're pretty scary, but not really, because there's some comedic nature to them. But since they're intended for a younger audience, these families are very upset about this. One particular woman, her name is Jamie Gooch, and she's from Texas. She wrote her opinion about this on a Facebook post that she has since deleted. Here's what she said. With the release of Hocus Pocus 2 coming up, I would be wrong to not to sound the alarm and warn you to protect your children. After all, the movie is based on harvesting the purity of children's souls, so the witches may live on. It seems silly, right? You would need to consider what's coming through your TV screen. It seems innocent until it's not.
Oh my God.
Oh man, this is a great setup. She's a write this next movie.
Yeah.
Here's more for her writing. Please hear me when I tell you the truth that the witches and warlocks in the satanic church abuse and sacrifice children in their spiritual rituals.
Oh, here we go. It's like QAnon stuff.
To gain more power in the underworld. Pause for a second. Doesn't sound very familiar to the things that they're accusing the political opponents of, that they're harvesting kids' souls. That's why they're looking to take these fetuses and suck them into their nose. I'm not sure what the process is. Ask Alex Jones. So let's more from her quote. So,
Ask Alex Jones.
So before you hit play on the night of the premiere of this movie, please ask yourself if not only your mind, but your children's minds are strong enough to ward off the hypnotization and bewitching trance that'd be coming through the screen to aid in the desensitization of the coming evil of this world. It's coming. One more line here to cap it off in case you weren't afraid already. Don't fall victim to the schemes of hell.
The schemes of hell.
By the way, she also went into a local TV station to elaborate about her issues and concerns, and she literally apparently cried in that particular one. So she's serious about this. It's not just joking, because she's worried about exposing our children to the darkness. There was one person who tweeted about this.
The dark side in this. She's not a Christian.
Pretty aptly to talk about someone who's so concerned about, because she's so religious, and about this whole thing about blood and taking in the energies for sustenance. He tweeted this. Mom says, I will not expose my children to witches harvesting blood sacrifices. Also, Mom, let's go eat the body and drink the blood of our zombie messiah who died as a blood sacrifice.
It's a little inconvenient there, yeah, right? Okay.
Kind of on the point.
Yeah. All right, first of all, it's the hilarious irony of all this is that she's the movie's biggest fan because she thinks it's real. She's like, I heard about these covenant witches and they're trying to steal the souls of the babies and the kids. We gotta stop them. There's real evil in them.
Oh my
no, it's not real.
It's not real.
I know you're really, really into it. But no, it's not a documentary. They're kidding. It's not real, right? You have to explain this to the right wingers. Oh, they're amazing people. In the movie, the witches are the bad guys. So what are you upset about? It's the heroes are the unfortunately described plucky children who have defeated the witches. So I didn't watch it either, but that sounds like, hey, good, they were exposed and they were routed. Satan loses. She's like, but you never know. You never know, right? And by the way, Satan's such a funny guy. Take that one out of context.
Was he in Scott's like comedy troupe?
Jeez. The lengths that some Christians will go to get their message across, like they just declare instant and utter insanity. And it's like explaining to a child, like, this isn't real. The boogeyman is not real. There's no monsters under your bed.
It was in Scott's improv group.
He was hot in college.
Yeah. And he's like, Satan's like, you think you're an angry retail guy. But I love that they have this vision of Satan as like, he's trying to steal and kidnap your kids' souls. So why doesn't he just do it? Why does he need their permission?
Right.
But he's like a stickler for the rules. He's like, no, I can't just grab the kids. They have to agree to it, okay? I mean, look, I know, I'm Satan, I'm Beelzebub. But hey, rules are rules. And there's regulations here. I got to follow them. But they really believe it, Scott.
Wild. Is no one going to talk about the? I mean, it's so easy, but it's hard to keep listening. Like after you hear her last name is Gooch. Like it really is like hard not to just focus solely on that for the.
Thank you. Somebody mentioned it. Somebody mentioned the word Gooch, and how that's hard to wrap your head around.
Entire article.
I tried not to.
Yeah, we tried.
I was really trying.
Ironically,
low-hanging fruit.
Also a plot by Satan to give her that last name.
It's the best marketing for the movie possible. Like I wish DVDs existed because those pull quotes like just unleash hell upon your children. Hocus Pocus it'd be so good. How could you not watch it? It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes people should ask the question because I always wonder this. So she has the whole thing. Say I'm clueless to this, or I believe what she's saying. What's the next step? What do you do next? So you keep your kids from watching this because if they do, I'm not sure, maybe it was detailed and I missed it somehow. If your kid watches it, if you watch it, does then your blood start draining out of your body? Does then your brain start leaving? And then who's eating it? Why is watching this movie transcendent to you then losing your blood and your soul to Satan and witches and warlocks? Where are they? Do they come through the TV screen? Is this poltergeist? Do the people in Hollywood that make these films, do they have this new technology where then afterwards, what is the girl from The Ring or something? She crawls out of the TV with her black hair and stuff. And she crawls at you. What is it that happens? What physically happens to you if you watch this movie?
Yeah. Well, that's of course what you would ask if you were trying to trick them into watching this movie, which is the spawn of hell. Okay, but good point on Ring. At least that one's a little bit more like, oh, I get it. She crawls out of the TV, and that's kind of scary, right? And then she's right there. So in this case, she did explain. She said they might be doing the spells through the TV, like voila.
Spells.
Okay,
right.
And you never know. I might be doing a spell now. Oh no! I just got you.
Oh my God.
Booyah! By the way, real story, a friend of mine got into a fight with this person and he could tell that he was really superstitious, right? So he said, look, you know what I'm going to do? He said, I'm going to put a spell on you. And if you're right, the spell will have all my money and all my worldly possessions go to you. But if I am right, the spell will have all of your worldly possessions come to me. And he said the guy started running.
Who's this?
It's my friend from Turkey. It's like you've never seen anyone so scared in their lives. Because look, guys, and I love it. There's a lot of good people who actually do believe in this stuff, the demons and the spells and stuff like that. I'm not trying to insult you, but it's not close to true.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like, I never want to make fun of individuals themselves, but I do make fun of belief systems. And if you're so devoted to the idea that some sort of evil can come through your television simply by watching a movie, you might want to think a little bit harder. And this Texas mom said verbatim, like, oh, you should think about this. You should even overthink about this. She obviously has not thought enough about this to warrant the sort of message that she's trying to put out there. It's extreme. It's weird. It's extreme. Like, why is this going viral? Like, this is shenanigans. This is, I don't know, this is dark-sidedness. She's not a Christian.
It's not within planets of true, right? So for the folks who are younger, oh no, he's trying to influence the young. Yeah, we're all trying to influence people, and we're trying to influence them with a thing called truth. You're trying to influence them that a spell goes.
There's a lot of this going on too this time of year. Like, there's a lot of weird people who have strange ideas about the month of October and the celebration of Halloween, which I think is great. Go for it. Celebrate it. But, like, some people are so against it. Like, it's like, I can't take them seriously because it honestly seems childish. Nothing is going to come out of the TV and unleash hell on your children. But if you believe that very vehemently and you scream at your children that that's what's going to happen, yeah, that's definitely unleashing some sort of hell, right? But it's created by you, not the show.
Through a TV and internet and movies and gets into their head and somehow drains the blood from their brain. Okay, Jesus. So, but anyway, so if you're in that group of people and you're not sure which one is it, right? There are no demons. Look, guys, I used to be religious, and then I believed a whole bunch of things, and they were in my head, right? They're like, oh, I think, and I didn't believe in demons and stuff like that, but I believed in like things that aren't anywhere near true, right? So I've done your drug. So then when you stop being religious, you realize, oh, all that stuff's just in your head. There's no actual ghouls, goblins, demons, Beelzebub running around. Totally, utterly made up. It's just in your head, and it's put in your head by people who listen to other people who said it like 2,000 years ago when they didn't know anything. They didn't know anything, right? So I love you, but it ain't true.
One thought. Can I?
Yeah.
And I said this before when it came to other things that folks believe. Fine, believe in the fact that maybe this movie is going to destroy you. Why can't you just sit back and go, can't wait to watch all this go down. These fools don't know. If I've got the antidote to life, if I figure this whole thing out and know how all these other fools don't get it, and they're just going to get their brains and blood sucked out of them, why wouldn't I just sit back and go, I'm gonna watch the show, give me my popcorn. This is a better movie than Hocus Pocus 2. Why is it then you have to tell everybody? This is gonna be crazy. Why so stressed out? Why are you so stressed out? You're supposed to relax. God's got you. He's got your back. We're going to heaven. We're good. What are we freaking out about? Who cares, right? This world is destructive. It's gonna be horrific. God's coming back. It's over. The rest of these fools who don't believe it, going to hell. F them, right? Why are we tripping? Relax, bro. You won, right?
Yeah, 100%, Jared. Look, honestly, for a lot of fundamentalist folks of all the different religions, they disrespect God so much, 10 times more than we do, okay? Because they think God is so weak. Satan's always got him on the run, right? Like, so fundamentalist Muslims, like, oh, you draw the Prophet Muhammad. Well, God obviously can't do anything to you, so I'm gonna have to kill you. Isn't God all powerful? Wait, isn't he going to torture me in eternal hell? Is that not enough? It lasts for eternity, okay? So that's because they don't actually believe there is a God who's going to protect them. They don't believe it. They believe it the least, right? But funny enough, like women like this, and there's a lot, she's not alone, there's a lot of people like her. They're scared to death of Satan, but they don't believe in God at all. Because you're right, Jerry, you grew up religious, your dad was a deacon, right? God's supposed to protect you, but they don't actually believe. That's the great irony.
And the ones who do in the churches I grew up in, people chilled out. They were like, I got God. Nobody was tripping.
Yeah.
They're like, Jesus. Got it. We're good.
By
It
the
was
way,
joyous. Those were joyous ceremonies, man. It was cool. We were good.
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you two things about that. One is I'm an atheist. So like when people say, oh, like, oh yeah, why don't I challenge your beliefs? Have at it, Hoss. Like what?
No rules.
Like isn't that how it's supposed to go? Like you're supposed to challenge my beliefs, I challenge your beliefs, and then we see, hey, who's like not who's right, but like let's talk it out, right? I'm not afraid. I'm not like, oh my God, what if it turns out I was wrong and Beelzebub's in that chair? Okay, that is unlikely. It is unlikely. But also if you're religious and you truly believe it and you believe God is good, you're right, dude, JR. Whenever these folks came by and they're like, oh, the candy's got this and the couch has got that or whatever. Your answer is easy. Jesus.
Did all of us.
Okay, but yeah, the couch might have the Beelzebub, but Jesus has got me. That's it. Okay, problem solved.
We were chilling.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. I really appreciate it.
I like the Young Turks. That was really good. I don't know if there's anything else we can explore within this. I mean, this lady is obviously hyped up on fantasy. This is not real. Nothing is going to come out of having your children watch Hocus Pocus 2. In the same way, when I grew up, like, I wish I could go back in time and say there's nothing that's going to come out of watching The Exorcist. Like, you're not actually going to become possessed. Hocus Pocus is definitely not a movie I would equate to, like, The Exorcist or, like, but it just reminds me of Christian women who are totally against Harry Potter. It's such a funny, benign, like, story, and yet they bring it up as if it's the manifest of Satan himself. But luckily in Hyperianism, we teach to examine these sort of beliefs, to apply a method of doubt to them, and ultimately conclude that they're false and they create unnecessary stress. And they put a mysterious figure, this sky daddy, this God figure between you and yourself, saying that you cannot improve yourself unless you appease to this specific God. And that's false. You should be able to access yourself and tap into your own godliness and your own capability to solve problems and evolve. But on that note, I think I want to go watch Hocus Pocus 2. But I do know there's going to be another live stream tonight, I believe, by Morgue. And I shall see you in the chat room. That's weird. I can't access the music anymore. There we go. Okay, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Mindful Monads, Monday live stream. And if you have not already, please like and subscribe to the channel. We go live 3 days a week. Our next stream is going to be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for Worldview Wednesday. Thank you for coming, Paul Cherry. Thank you for coming, Kim Drew, Renaissance Fairy Akiko. And thank you to our moderators, Mark, Cassie, and Susan, and Philip, for coming. Thank you so much for keeping our chat room healthy. Paul Cherry, Ari, Joanna, Claudia, good to see you. Maria Seedling, good to see you. Angela, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. And Cutthroat, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. All right, my friends, I'm going to sign off. I am starving. I need dinner. And, yeah. I'm going to skidaloo-daloo. Good to see you, Akiko. All right. Thank you so much, Heretical Response, for the super chat. I appreciate that.